on TikTok, Instagram, like 30, 33, 34, no kids, no husband, and they're living their best life.
I like what you said about, when people are entering into marriage, nobody's entering with the intention of divorce. But the reality is that a lot of people have fantasies about marriage,
Sure.
So because the only thing that will stop a marriage from crashing is the effort you put into it, and not just because you're married.
Sure.
So even if
marriage doesn't really favor women, it favors men more. Most of the time. Mm-hmm. Mostly because the women have more to sacrifice.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome back again to another episode. So Dima, I brought you another shocking story. We saw some of your comments in the last video and we brought you yet another mind-thrilling story that you never believe happens. So, but let me see Dima's feeling. I didn't tell her about it yet, so that she will be shocked and give us her natural reaction about the story. So let me see what you think.
Okay.
So this is about a guy is writing a story. He said, I want to speak my mind on a public space. My wife is very irresponsible and I regret marrying her for the things she did to me. Leaving 5 children with me and going to Nigeria because I asked her for a divorce. This is someone I paid for her masters and brought to the UK. Her first time in the UK was because of me. Some weeks ago, I sat down like a man in our house. I told her that I wanted a divorce, that I had made up my mind and would be moving out that week. I made arrangements for money for the children. She didn't say anything. She said, okay, not a problem. She just nodded and said that she understood, like she was planning this thing. I thought it would be a conversation or maybe she would say something, but it wasn't like that at all. She did not even beg. Without a single word, she packed her things the next morning, grabbed her phone and texted me, I'm going to Nigeria. I'm leaving the kids with you. And that was it. We have 5 children together. She now carried their passports so that I can't travel with them to Nigeria. How do you leave 5 children with me? For what? Is she not the woman in the marriage to cater for the children? What pained me is our twins. Their birthday was the next week. She didn't seem to care about what would happen to me raising these children. And I was left there holding the responsibility of 5 children by myself. As if nothing had ever mattered, I was stuck there by myself where I had to pick up the responsibilities of a broken family that she didn't seem to want to be a part of anymore. He was the one that asked for divorce anyways. The calls I made to her family did not even mean anything. Only her mother even still picked my call. She left me with no support. Her family are useless like her. I have to apply for new passports for our children. I swear she won't see these children again. I married a thief and wicked soul. She stole £3,000 from my account using my email to authorize it. Sorry for laughing. The first few days was overwhelming for me. I started to have temperature like I'm falling sick. So it's like I didn't exist outside of being their father. I can't even watch ball or go out. I could barely find a moment for myself. These children is like my wife told them to frustrate me with tantrums, late night feedings and constant messes. And every time I looked at them, I realized that she wasn't coming back for them, for me, or for the life we had once tried to build. What type of woman does this? In the midst of it all, my sister has to step in. She started coming over to help me, picking up the slack when I was drowning. I didn't know what I would have done without her. It wasn't fair to her either to be pulled into this wahala, but she did without question. She stayed up with the kids, cleaned the house when I couldn't, and gave me the space to catch up on some sleep. When my wife's phone is off and I wonder what she's doing, she died her hair gold. Sorry for the laugh. Now it's been 16 days since she left. 16 days of taking care of her kids, sent to punish me to hell. 16 16 days of wondering how she could live without a second thought. Which woman does that? I still haven't heard from her, and it's like she never loved me or even cared about our children. Her children keep crying and asking for her. Some day I'm angry, and other days I miss my wife. God is on the throne. I have been reading Joel 2:25-26 to restore my marriage. Can you get that Bible verse? We will read it later. That's how I feel today. My feelings go from angry to missing her sometimes.
Joel what, please?
Joel 2:25-26.
Okay.
What do you advise? It's like she never loved me or her children. What mother will do this? I will get the passport soon, and after Easter, I will go to Nigeria. And that's the story. Let's read the Joel 2:25-26. Let's see what is there.
Okay, so Joel 2:25-26 says, "And I will restore to you the years that the locust had eaten, the cankerworm and the caterpillar and the palmer worm, my great army which I sent among you. And ye shall eat in plenty and be satisfied, and praise the name of the Lord your God, that had dealt wondrously with you, and my people shall never be ashamed." So
firstly, how you relate, but tell me.
No, it does relate, because God is just telling him that he's going to restore
the wife.
Maybe not even the wife, like maybe we just restore his family.
Yeah.
Maybe him moving on, finding, like, enjoying life again, and but I'm so sorry for the laugh, you people. Firstly, I don't want to jump into conclusion because I don't know exactly why he wanted to ask for divorce, because on a normal day, if you're choosing to get married to someone, divorce is the last thing on your mind. So for him to think of divorcing her, there probably might, because nobody's perfect, so there probably might be something that she had maybe done and he has had it up to here. So that's not what I want to talk about. So I just wanted to acknowledge that we don't have the full gist as to why he wanted to ask for a divorce. But I just wrote down some things. So firstly is that gone are the days when you threaten people with marriage. So I'm so sure that when he mentioned that divorce, in his head, he probably might be thinking, she's going to come and kneel down and beg me, please do not leave me. But these days, like, you shouldn't threaten people with marriage. That's what I think. Because I feel like we are getting to that point where marriage is no longer
an achievement.
Yes, it's no longer as it used to be.
An identity.
Exactly. You know, back in the days, like, for a woman, no matter what you've accomplished, even though we still kind of have it up to now, but I don't think it's as intense as it used to be, where I must marry now. Because I'm seeing a lot of people in their 30s and they're not even bothered. Like, you see a lot of people on TikTok, Instagram, like 30, 33, 34, no kids, no husband, and they're living their best life. Because most of the times when you look at our parents and people that are married, and most of the times they are complaining because there's a lot of work for
marriage
them.
Comes with its
own thing. So him threatening her, maybe she has even also wanted to divorce him, because I am so sure that living abroad with 5 children, you cannot get help. So you're doing everything yourself. So I'm so sure that the girl at some point has also been fed up and was just maybe looking for a window, but couldn't voice it out, make it not be like saying, "Na me tell my husband, sir, no want again." So immediately he just presented it. She didn't even want him to take back his words. The girl took to her heels and did what?
Like a lifetime opportunity.
Exactly. So that's number one. Number two is that times have now changed, right? Because I also remember I saw one Muslim girl online where she was talking about how if she ever gets married, it's not like she's planning to divorce or anything, but if she ever gets married and have children and they end up divorcing, that she's going to leave the kids with the man because she came empty-handed. So the kids are the man's kids. Because I'm so sure that him not seeing that this woman would leave, in his head, I am very sure that he was thinking that when he divorces the woman, she would have the 5 children, and then
he was looking for freedom.
He was looking for freedom. Do you get? He was looking for freedom so that she's not the one that is good enough to suffer with 5 children. Then maybe he will not be giving the misery child support while the girl will be there drowning.
Because he said he made plans for the finances.
He has made plans for the finances, so it means that in his head, by the time he divorces her, he will not be a free single man that cannot go about gallivanting in the streets of UK. But then the woman shocked him with boom. You know they go anywhere. Me, you want to divorce me? Thank you, Lord Jesus. So, like, I'm very sorry that he's going through all that, but I also do not honestly, I just feel for the children because they didn't ask for this. But for the two adults, I don't feel for them because, like, I'm sorry you're going through divorce and everything, but you wanted to just leave it for one person. And now that thing you wanted to do to the person, they've done it to you and you've seen that it's not easy. Then another thing too is that, what's it called? Probably, I'm thinking, because for him to be this overwhelmed, I'm not saying that on a normal day he shouldn't, but for him to be so shocked at the dirtiness, the children wanting food and everything, it also gets to show that he probably was not actively involved in taking care of the home to understand that things like this are not easy. Because for them to be so shocking for him, it means that probably this woman has been doing everything. Because now he mentioned that he paid for her master, so I'm so sure that at the slightest of things he would always rub it in her face that, after all, I brought you here. After all, I sponsored you. After all, I paid for this. So every other thing, she probably takes care of them, which now means that, now that he has seen all the chores and the hardship of taking care of these 5 children, he's going crazy. Thank God for his sister anyways. And then the other one too is that I actually applaud the girl for the boldness, because in her head, I came empty-handed. Now you put these 5 pickings.
It was refreshing to see the tables turn.
Don't, because on a normal day, it's usually the woman that will not carry the children and be suffering while the man will be there flexing and then sending his one cent or €1 or whatever
he might be complaining about.
And then another thing too, okay, now I sometimes when people speak, I tend to get to understand who they are to some extent. Now, why are you cussing out the family? Why is he saying that the girl's family is stupid? It also gets to show me that him, to some extent, also has issues. Nobody is perfect, like I said. But for you to not stay and be, why are you cussing out the family? Nobody, the family lifted the girl, make she leave. You said you wanted divorce. The woman say, okay, you won't leave me, Abi. Oh yeah, now, let me carry my kaya and be going. So why are you cussing out the family? You're even lucky that the mother is speaking. It's because, Nigerian mothers, and I'm so sure that the Nigerian mother will be convincing the daughter to go back now. That's even why she's speaking, because why she's speaking is because she's hopeful that her daughter will come back to you. And another thing too is that now is a normal thing for women. Is what society knows and expects, that when they divorce or when a man leaves the husband, the woman automatically is your responsibility to take care of the kids. Because he also mentioned it, saying, is she not supposed to be the one to take care of the kids? Why would she leave those children with me? Which also shows you the mentality that probably he has always, like I mentioned, left everything for this girl, because in his head is her responsibility to take care of the home and take care of the children. So I'm so sure that girl ran away for her own mental health, because, like I said, living abroad without any help is not easy. And then the last but not the least, her dyeing her hair gold. I want to dye my hair gold when I cut it. It means this girl has found her freedom. She has been looking for this opportunity, and he's
stalking her, because how did he have all those information?
And he handed it exactly to her freely on her palm, and the girl was like, thank you, sir. I'm very happy you're holding on to God. So Jidesi, you hold on to him well, hoping that another woman will be free and happy enough to take you in with your 5
But is that really holding on to God? Really? Because sometimes people use these quotes to cover up their bad behaviors. Instead of acknowledging their wrongdoings and finding solutions, they will quote the Bible and say that God said, because now he's feeling like the victim.
He's feeling like the victim. Exactly.
Okay, let me not judge.
That's why I did not. I don't know what she did
to. I don't know how the
whole marriage went.
And I like what you said about, when people are entering into marriage, nobody's entering with the intention of divorce. But the reality is that a lot of people have fantasies about marriage,
Sure.
So because the only thing that will stop a marriage from crashing is the effort you put into it, and not just because you're married.
Sure.
So even if you don't have intentions of divorce and you still go into marriage and you don't do what you're supposed to do, it will still crash, So, but I feel like immediately I read the first sentence, it gave me a lot of details about the personality of this guy.
Exactly.
I wanted to be more lenient and, really put my mind to imagine or put myself in the shoes of both parties. But the way he introduced the story, he was already cursing out. You could tell how broken and how mesmerized he is. But at the same time, the way he said he sat the woman down as a wife he married, the man is sounding so condescending on the woman, because I could already see, like, if this is how he would introduce this story to the public.
Imagine how he treats and talks to her.
I wonder how he talks to the woman. And like, I feel like you were saying in my mind, because I feel for the woman to just not even argue at all.
See, because a mother is a mother.
She has thought about it like a million of times. And then immediately the opportunity came. She was like, okay, you know,
let's grab it. And see, another thing is that no woman, as long as a woman
would have the mind to leave her child,
that woman has seen shege.
And now they have 5 children in the UK. No be small punishment in that too. You know, do you know what it means to take care of one child abroad? Talk more of 5 children.
You know, in Nigeria, you can easily get help.
You can easily get help. There are grandmothers and all, but abroad, you're doing everything by yourself. And the way he's sounding, he's probably those kind of people that have the mentality of, I'm a man, my responsibility is to provide the money. Because the way he's already sounding like, you know, as a woman this, as a woman that, is showing that he's not invested in the day-to-day life of his children. He's only concerned about providing, and that is it. So taking care of 5 children is not base, it's not money. But maybe like he made the provision for whatever finances, and the woman took the opportunity and went to save herself. This is a woman that probably doesn't have enough finances for him to be saying that he made the provision. Now, if you're making provision, this kind of person would make sure that the provision is going to only the children. He wouldn't account for the wife, or who would then become an ex, you know.
Yeah.
So the woman would have probably looked at all angles and seen that this was not going to favor her, which in her own right, you know, she has the right to choose what is convenient for her.
Yeah.
It's not okay for anybody to leave their children. Yeah. But for her to leave her children, we tell you the amount of hell that she's going through. And now the man bragging about, oh, he's the one that's paid for her BSc and all of that. Well done, you've done well, you know, but that is your partner. If she was in your shoes, she probably would have done the same for you.
Yeah.
And let me bet you, even if she didn't do it for her, she could have married another person who could have treated her better. Do you understand? So the fact that you married her and you were able to help her do masters doesn't mean that you were helping her to be able to support you. You were doing it partly for yourself as well. Yeah. You know, so that's gone at these days where you support somebody and you think like they own their life, you know. Now you're pointing out the money you paid for this, but you're not pointing out all the sacrifices
she has done and the things she had to give up to be able to be with you and give you 5 children. Guy, do you know what it means to birth 5
times?
Like put your body through hell 5
and after that
times.
You are still continuing to lose your life to take care of them.
Every time you enter labor, you are is either life or death.
Yeah. So and you survive death 5 times only for you to now come and be living like, because sometimes it's not even about giving birth. Sometimes the raising of the child can be harder than even the childbirth itself. Yeah. I can understand his pain. I can understand his frustration. Even the way he's cursing out the children, saying that they were sent from hell to frustrate. How can you be making such statements?
That's I'm telling you. It also shows that he was not fully involved in raising those kids.
So one thing that is very clear to me is that the man has it's not. This one is not. It's not allegedly. This man has a clear, deep anger issues, because when he's expressing the frustration, you know, it's okay for you to be frustrated. You don't have to like exert your frustration on another person and resort to name calling and abuse and all of these things. Luckily for him, he has a sister abroad who was able to. I wonder what he could have done if his sister was not there. So making those comments about your kids, talking about how they are messing up and down.
I feel so bad for the children.
I feel so bad for the guy, but I wish he would realize his mistake. I wish he would realize that he might be at fault here, and maybe he's feeling too big to even apologize to the wife, because he said that he misses it. If he's missing the woman, means that the woman is a good woman.
And I right? The woman is giving him the opportunity to speak to her.
Yeah, because he said that he's missing sometimes he misses the girl, sometimes he wishes she will come back and all of that. He's stalking her social media and seeing her good hair, and he's, you know, tormenting him the more. So this clearly to me tells that he still cares about the woman, but it seems like his ego is getting in the way.
I feel like he cares now because she's no longer there. So now he has seen the importance of the woman in his life, because that's why he just wanted divorce, because he probably didn't appreciate her when she was there. Exactly. Now that she's gone and he has seen all the things she has been doing, and seeing the huge impact she had in their lives. Because he's no longer getting those treatments anymore, he's now missing them.
Most of the times, you don't know the value of what you have until you lose it.
True.
You know, but then, even when you've lost it and there's an opportunity for you to gain it back, call her, apologize to her, be a man. Because every time you're saying be the man, but being a man doesn't mean that you have to let your ego be in the way. Why can't you just call the woman and, okay, maybe she's not even, he said that she's not.
I don't think, because that's what he said, it's only the mom, there's only the girl's mom,
you have to go any length, but the same person that you're trying to call, you're still resorting to calling the family names.
And you think if I see this thing that you posted as your wife, you think I would want to respect you, I want to come back. It just shows that I won't go back to you. So the thing, the other one I want to add is just the children, because they didn't ask for this, and because they live abroad, there is a high probability that if those children are not well taken care of, Social Security is going to pick them up, which now means that they're not going to start growing up in different homes. So unnecessary suffering and punishment for children who didn't even ask to be here. And another thing too is that most of the times, the old marriage, even up till now sometimes, marriage doesn't really favor women. It favors men more. Most of the times, mostly because the women have more to sacrifice.
So they lose themselves more.
They lose themselves more, because no matter who you are as a woman, once you've given birth, you are passing your life to some extent,
career,
2 years.
like everything.
You're putting your body through a lot, but the man continues. He can continue to pursue his career without having to pause. Maybe what he can do, take 2 weeks paternity leave, and that is it. But his career continues. But the woman, you're now bound to take care of, because what society understands is that once you give birth, like he said, are you not supposed to take care of the children? Most times, the women are the ones doing majority of the lifting, while the man is like, oh, I'm supposed to provide, and then you go to work and come back, and that is it.
Even for women that have very supportive husbands, very, very supportive and present husbands, they still feel the heat of it.
Chimamanda said that childbirth took some years of her career.
Talk more of people who don't have any supporters. Sometimes I don't know how women do it. I don't know how they stretch themselves to like be able to survive anything. So, but the fact that they can survive all these things doesn't mean that you should inflict more on them.
Or take advantage of it.
Exactly.
That's one thing. Most times they take advantage of it, because the woman maybe doesn't complain, or when you complain, they call you nagging wife, and they now think that, oh, this is not, because the society has also painted it that women are supposed to be the ones to take care of the home. Not knowing that taking care of the home is, I've watched some of my friends that have given birth and super women, like sometimes I just wish to rethink, like,
and honestly, please, a lot of time I'm begging people, as you're crossing the borders, be crossing, like be checking off some mindsets as well, because there are some attitudes and cultures that might work for you when you're in Nigeria, especially this attitude of you're a woman, you're supposed to. It might work where, like in your previous environment, but when you move to a new environment where it requires, maybe like, for example, if you're in Nigeria, maybe it can even be easier, understandable that now we have a lot of help. There's house help, there's the family, there's everything. But when you move abroad where you have to do everything by yourself, why would you still expect the woman to be doing all those things by herself?
And another thing too is some men have this mentality of, but my mom did this, my mom was able to do it. If you look at your mom, the way your mom looks now, do you like it?
So you have to like enjoy
because have you gone to question
to be able to point where you now raise your child and because most women in their parents is their children like growing up and taking care of them,
using their children as a time. No, because I want to ask, like, when, like, because your mom did it doesn't mean it's okay. Have you gone to ask your mom how she felt about doing all those things and all the sacrifices and regrets that she had about having to give up her dreams and aspirations to take care of you guys, your siblings, your dad, and every other thing? Like, probably your dad was able to go achieve his dreams and goals while your mom sat back at home to take care of children. I'm not saying that it is wrong. There's some people that find huge fulfillment in that. Doesn't mean that every other person should do that.
You shouldn't be imposing mindsets on people, because let me also say this, that when you're getting married to a woman, the woman you're getting married to have a culture where she's coming from. There's a way her family behaves, you know. So as a human being, it's supposed to be a merge of culture, you know. So she will bring her own culture, you bring your own culture, and you guys like analyze and see what works for both of you. So you can't be most times you can't say, because you're the man, you're supposed to like, this is how we do things, you know. And a lot of times those things that people are putting as culture are not even culture. They're just their way. It's just a way of them masking their laziness and their manipulation and their wickedness. So and then it's more something, they'll be like, that's the culture now, you're supposed to know. But it's not the culture. People most of the time are forcing it on you just in the name of culture, so that you feel like, this is how everybody does it.
And this is how it's supposed to be. And that one that I even forgot to mention, you say she stole 3K. That one is small.
She only took it for the flight.
That 3,000 is small because for all the things she has done for you and your children and all the things she put herself through, that 3K is small money. You're supposed to call her dash her mom.
Girl, get mine, child. But like the only thing I could think of is that she was choked. She had gotten down.
Yeah, she had gotten to her head. And the thing is, like, most of the time, if you even check it, when men leave the women and the children still end up go to look for their father, and even like the father more because of, they say absence makes the mind grow further.
So suffering.
Exactly. Yes. So they definitely start now, take care of the children. I know that when they grow up, they'll go and look for their mom. If the woman doesn't care, that's also.
But you see the plans he's making already to like ban the woman from seeing the children.
That's okay. If he eventually like takes care of those children till they're grown, and he makes that he can still make the choice until the children are 18.
Yeah.
And can now make the choices themselves. But honestly, at this point, may the fourth be with you.
Amen. So guys, this story is shocking.
Yeah.
Just drop in the comment section. Let us know what you think about this story. We are going to read all your comments and we are going to also respond to all your comments.
Forward any story you have for us on our IG, or even just leave them in the comments and we'll address them.
Yeah. And before we sign out, I also want to say to our men, our dear men, we love you guys so much, but let me explain from my own understanding what it means to be a man. A man is a position you earn. Being a man is not being a male. You are born male, we know that, but being a man, you have to earn it. It's a position you have to earn. And being a man in the family is a call to service. It's not a call for ego and bragging. No. Being a man of the family means that you're called to serve your family. And if you're in the place of service, you're going to prioritize your subjects, the people that you're called to protect, So if you are called a man and you cannot protect the people that you're manning over, what makes you a man? Exactly. It's just your ego, like, controlling you. Keep down the ego and take care of your family. Learn how. I feel like in most homes, men should be the ones leading. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, being a man should be earned. I think that men should be leading more conversations about how a family should go. Call your wife with love, and speak to her. Have a conversation about if she's wronged you in any way. Yeah, talk to her about it, and you guys should figure out a way to move forward rather than doing everything gra, not to solve problem or
please. So, and help.
Yeah,
help. Especially when she keeps repeating something. Oh, I need this and I need this done. Help. It's not easy. You don't even need to you don't even wait for her to ask. If she has complained about something over and over again, it's a sign of something. Don't wait for her to scream.
Exactly.
Or help her. I'm telling you that it is not easy.
That's the way you're saying that 2 weeks ago you called your wife and sat her down like a wife you married. That's the same way when you guys sat down is when you could have discussed the issues instead of resorting to shouting divorce. You don't threaten somebody with divorce. So now you guys are probably going to get divorced. Are you like the outcome? So just like our men, please earn your status as men and don't demand it. If you start demanding for demand, or if you start demanding for submission, then it's no longer submission, it's abuse,
Yeah,
submission and respect should be earned.
And the thing is, women actually naturally easily submit when they feel security.
I swear.
And protection.
I always say this thing, like
that is just it.
It's just
any woman you take care of naturally.
It's not a question. And I always say this thing, that no matter how successful and independent a woman is, she's sort of look like seeking that, or somebody should
take care of me, like
that would nurture you and all of that. And it's only somebody she submits to. Like the fact that she's a woman doesn't mean that she will go to the society and be seeking approval or validation everywhere. But that person that she loves, a woman would easily submit. The most important thing that women are looking for is trust.
Once a woman
they trust you, they will respect you. And
you have a mumu button.
So it's
coming from women. You have a mumu button.
Submission is not a question. So stop forcing it. If you start forcing it, you will never get it. That is what causes all this chaos and all these controversies.
We hope this video was helpful. We love you guys. We love you, and we appreciate all that you do, but yeah, thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you guys in another episode.
Peace out.